Okay, the whole point of this exercise is this is going to be a cautionary tale, and this is intended to help out people who have not walked the beach there at the Elk. It's to help you not get in trouble. So here's me and several of my friends, Bob and Ryan and Jeff and Darren. And we're on our way down to fish the mouth of the Elk. And so we park at Blanco, and it's not dark. The sun's up. And we start walking down the beach, and my friends say, "Hey, look out for logs." And I say, "Uh-huh." And I don't really know what they're talking about. But I assume they're talking about logs out in the ocean. And I'm walking down the beach and I'm looking out in the ocean. And yeah, there's kind of a whirlpool of logs out just off the mouth of the Elk. And but there's no sign that those things are getting washed ashore. They're just way out there. I'm afraid this light's too bright. Yeah, it's too bright. Okay, let's just go like this. So I'm walking down the beach, and I've got a messenger bag over one shoulder, and I've got, I think, one or two rod tubes in the other hand. They're taped together. So I'm heading down the beach. I'm gonna go. Where's my tinsel? I'm gonna fish Elk River for the day. So we're walking down the beach, and Darren and Jeff, and who else? Darren and Jeff and Ryan are ahead of me and Bob. And all of a sudden they break into a run, and they yell, "Look out!" And I don't know what they're talking about. I'm walking south, so the beach grass is on my left and the ocean's on my right. And I look out there at the ocean, and it just looks, I mean, the surf isn't big, and it's, 100 feet away. And I'm thinking, I don't see any problem there, so I just keep walking. And all of a sudden, I get hit by a wave from behind. It's rolled in from the north, and all of a sudden, it starts out ankle deep, knee deep, crotch deep, and it's up to my waist. And it's pushing me south, and it's hard to keep on my feet. So I'm bracing against it, kind of pushing back up current, and I get myself turned around, facing north, and I am literally waist deep in the water. And I look up current, I look north, and here comes a drift log. And so maybe I'm exaggerating, maybe I'm not. I think it was 40 feet long and 3 or 4 feet in diameter. Maybe it's just 3. But this thing's coming at me, and it's only 30 or 40 feet away from me. It's just right on me. There is no way I'm going to be able to avoid this thing. And of course, my heart's pounding, the adrenaline's pumping. I am scared to death. I gauged that there was no way I could walk, move around it, because I'm just right in the middle of this thing. And it's coming fast. So when it's on me, and I may not get this right because I'm trying to tie this fly, but basically I shifted my rod tubes. I shifted things around. I wind up getting my left knee on the log. I think left knee and left hand. I think I had my rod tube in my right hand. Left knee, left hand on the log as it hit me, and I vaulted. I kind of rolled over the log and just landed on my right side in the water, gulping. I held my breath so I didn't drown. Stood up, soaked. Log went under me. I'm looking up current now, and here comes a cedar root wad, kind of the size of a Volkswagen, and it's heading towards me. And so this one's coming slower, so I'm just backing up. And it by this time the wave washed out, and I was okay. So at this point, oh, by the way, the same log, it nicked Bob Borden, put a big old bruise in his thigh. He was out near the end of it. He nearly sidestepped it, but it dinged him. So I ran on up. Ryan and Jeff and Darren were up. They were up out of the water. They were on the beach grass to my left. So we were okay then. So in rethinking all that, here's what I hadn't known. Now I always thought that when you'd read about very sad situations where people got killed, or crushed in the surf by logs, and my assumption was that they were just out there playing on the beach, not being careful, with big surf and be able to see big logs rolling around in the surf, and the surf rolled those big logs in and got them. Well, that's not the case. What I learned here was that so one of the things I had not noticed was, as I was walking down the beach, the whole beach was wet. The whole beach, from even though the surf that I could see was not rough, the beach from the water's edge on my right as I'm walking south up to the beach grass on my left was soaked, which means that it had been recently wet. So what I didn't get was that there, and I've been, when we left the parking lot, I didn't see any big waves out there. What I didn't realize was there were swells with a long period, say a long period of time. It could have been 15 minutes. It could have been 20 minutes. These swells were only washing, and they were washing from the north to the south, so they were coming from behind. I couldn't see them coming. Every 15 or 20 minutes, one of these big swells would just sweep down the beach. And that's what got me. And that, I think, is what people fall victim to when they're out on the coast and they're having a good time and they don't see danger around them. What happens is they don't see the danger. And now I'm having I can't get this hackle to behave, so I'm going to get another one. So anyway, make sure when you are out there, be aware of these sneakers. I don't know if they call them sneakers or sweepers. They sweep down the beach. There's a long period between their occurrence. If you've got wet sand around you, that means very, very recently a wave has swept the beach. The log that nearly got me wasn't one that was out in the ocean floating around. It was one that was up well on the beach. In fact, I think it was right up near the beach grass, and the wave that hit the beach pushed it free from the beach grass and sent it down the beach towards me. So different time, I've watched some guys who really want to fish. The best tide at the mouth of the Elk is the outgoing, not the incoming. Although there can be exceptions to that. But so they wanted to get into the they wanted to get around a little headland and into the estuary where they could get their best fishing spot. And they were timing the waves, they thought, so they could get around that headland. And I saw a couple people, one person in particular, he saw the wave coming and he was on a dead run, and he had to escape into a little crevasse in the headland, and I think he was like being a rock climber, climbing up to get away from that big old wave. So I would just encourage you, try to stay safe, try to realize just how dangerous that surf can be, and how the danger isn't easily apparent when you just start to walk down the beach. The biggest swells could be 10 or 15 minutes away. So my story had a happy ending. I don't believe I caught any fish that day. I think that might have been the day that I was there all day long, and I hooked a fish finally just about at dark, and it broke off because my loop knot, I was fishing a Ramon salmon killer with a loop knot with bead chain eyes. These don't have bead chain eyes. I'm using bead chain eyes and a loop knot, union loop knot. And the darn thing, I made my loop too big, and so it looped over the bead chain, and that little seam in the back of my bead chain cut my leader. So one grab for the whole day broke it off because of my poor craftsmanship tying a knot. So with that, I'm going to close. I hope you have a good day today. Whether you watch this video the first time, the 100th time, as if that's going to happen, whether you're fishing, whether you're home with your dog, your cat, your family, your friends, have a good one, and I hope you have fun out there in the water. Thank you very much.